Okay, so soon I'll be turning 63. And just out of curiosity, does it really matter if you're continuing self development or if you never have any relationship, so to speak, with self development? And what I mean by self development is if you guys ever heard of Jim Rohn, guys like that who their whole existence, as far as business wise, was to build people up, encourage them to develop their self worth, to increase their wisdom and their knowledge of developing a higher self, so to speak. And it goes through, things that I can do to make myself better. Right. And now I was thinking about this the other day. I'm a connoisseur, so to speak, of developing myself as far as physically, mentally, spiritually, on a continual basis every day. I'm reading something, I'm listening to something. I have a whole list of audio books that I listen to. I'm constantly feeding myself things that will improve my well-being, right? I look at how my diet is every day and what I'm consuming and how am I talking to others and what am I putting in my body as well as my brain. And I always had this feeling that my body is a temple, right? So I look at the outward things coming at me. It's a constant process. And how do I react to it? And I was thinking, after you get to a certain age, does it really matter? I mean, you're on the downside. I keep saying you, but I'm looking at myself. I'm growing closer to an age where people say that, that's the end. What is the national average of a male is 75 years old and a woman is between 78 and 80. And if you look at your years as times, like you only have X amount of summers left. In my case, according to, the national average, I only have, 12 summers left, or I only have 12 Christmas left, or I only have 12 birthdays left. I mean, then you look at it like that and you think, well, does anything really matter? Does this really matter? And I still think as long as I'm on this planet, I'm going to try to increase my learning, to increase my well-being, right? I look at a doctor as an emergency specialist, right? That's the way I look at it. Like, I don't go if I can figure it out myself. What am I putting into my body that's making me sick? What outside influence is making me sick? What have I done that's making me sick, And then I kind of check off all these boxes, is the food I just ate? Is it the gas pump I just touched? What can I do better so next time I don't get sick, right? So, or I'm looking at a situation that's causing me stress. What next time can I do that won't cause me so much stress? That I am looking at these years left, how many summers I have left. I have no idea. I'm not in control of that, right? So I look at what can I do to make every day of my existence the best possible, right? Because nobody's given tomorrow. What we have is what we have. We have today. Nobody's guarantee us tomorrow. So I look at, okay, what can I do today? That's the way I look. And I look, sometimes I wake up and I say, does it really matter if I do all these things? Does it really matter if I learn more things? Because I feel like your brain is a muscle, right? And if you're not using it, then it's deteriorating. And I'm constantly learning new things. I'm constantly finding things, whether it's in my garden or it's in my vehicle or it's around the house or it's in the business, or if it's something I can do for somebody else, if, just like whatever too. I just got done pruning my orchard, my mini orchard, and I, sprayed them with non-toxic materials, right? So I'm constantly cleaning my yard and I'm doing these things. And I noticed that, the other day I spent almost 12 hours in a continual process. I took an hour to eat, during the middle of it, and I didn't take a break. And I noticed that when I was done, the next day I really needed a break. I mean, that 12 hours of continual activity really wore on me. And I think, should I take a week break and do it again, or should I continue? And is it something that I'm not used to doing? So should I do it more? That way I can build up all this, aerobic activity that I'm not normally used to getting. So I'm constantly wrestling with these type of things. And then I look on the other side and I say, does it really matter if I take care of these things? It doesn't really matter if I, I'm thinking about my strawberry patch, right? It's time to renew it. You only get so many strawberries, and then after a while, they turn into these little berries almost. They're not the big, luscious strawberries you see. And I'm thinking, it doesn't really matter. I mean, I can go buy them at the store, and my chickens, they're about ready to be finished. I'm not getting that production out of them. Doesn't really matter. Should I just go to, all these questions? I'm sure you have a lot of them. In the comments below, list your things. Does it really matter? Does it really matter if, you keep your house up? Does it matter if you keep your health up? Does it matter if you're constantly reading books? Are you improving yourself? I don't, know how you fit into this personally, but I look at it as an attachment to my overall well-being, right? My overall feeling of, this is what I should be like. This is what I'm doing to increase myself. And if you only have so many times left, does it really matter? And it's not only me, it's a question, right? And for me, I know what the answer is. I'm not, until they put me in the ground, I'm not quitting. Okay. I'm not going to quit learning. I'm not going to quit, moving forward on all these projects I got, whether it's, it's in business, whether it's trying to find another avenue. I got my plate full, but, it seems like I'm constantly busy. And I'm building, it's almost like a detriment to add more things to my list, right? But I'm just not one of them. I don't watch TV. I couldn't even tell you what's on, what movie was out, what famous TV shows going. Is it famous? Maybe it's trending or popular movie series or TV series. I don't know. I don't watch TV. I watch a sporting event. But it has to be a major event, whether it's college basketball, whether it's the Masters, whether it's the Super Bowl. But other than that, I kind of stay clean from all that. But that's neither here nor there. I was just gathering this information and I'm thinking, does it really matter after, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 years if you're even doing anything? I think that I look at some of these older people that are way past retirement years that are still working. And I think they're consumed with that responsibility. They don't have anything else other than life. And with me, I've always had time to go off on vacation. I've always had time to go do something else or whatever I wanted to do. I always had time to, and I still have time to do it. I can work 12 hours a day, 6, 7 days a week, and then say, hey, you know what, this weekend I want to go do something else. I want to go take a trip, right? So I was listening to all these motivational quotes, and it really, lifted me up and inspired me. But then the other side of it said, why don't you just take it easy? It's that little guy on your shoulder. It's like, dude, do you really need that? I mean, what good is it going to do at your age, But I'm just throwing that out with you guys. If it struck a nerve with you, let me know in the comments. I'd appreciate that, because sometimes I wonder these things, and I just, what is everybody else feeling out there? You know, there's not too many people these days that share these feelings with one another, to say, no, you're not alone, or yeah, you're kind of out there a little bit. But I hope you found value in this video. I appreciate you guys. You have a wonderful day, and I will see you on the next video. Bye now.